We're on Facebook.
There we go. Hey, hello, and good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gym and the Crypto episode 127.
Oh, yeah.
Today is March 20th, and I am King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish. 10-ish. Oh, yeah.
All right, for the free Bitcoin day, what are we doing, or who won it yesterday?
So, for our free Bitcoin winner, it was Adarex Parkour. Thank you for your comment about IBM, the supercomputer that they had, smaller than a grain of salt, that they're actually looking to implement into different devices and use the blockchain to track a lot of things. They actually commented how regular people will usually get caught up, in the technology part of it, of using it because of the hype. However, for people who have been in it long enough, we realize that privacy is one of the biggest things you can have. So it might not be the best tech for people who enjoy their privacy. But thanks for that comment, and we'll be sending you that free Bitcoin. Appreciate you.
Much appreciated. What is going on? See everybody in the comment section coming in. Glow Incorporated, Alpha Rob, Ariel, Vaughn, Federico, P-Man Van, Bitcoin Hippie. Hello.
What's up?
We always on time, Federico. 10-ish.
10-ish.
You get 59 minutes to be on time.
Oh, yeah.
No. All right. Let's see. Today is kind of a slow news day. A few stories, of course, we'll cover, but not too much going on, of course, as everybody waits to see what happens at G20. That comes out, see what everybody's regulators going to do. But until then, President Trump has officially prohibited the U.S. purchase of the Venezuelan currency, the Petro dollar.
We're getting close.
Here we go.
Close to him saying
Come on, just tell him to go ahead and say the words.
Say the words, man. We're getting close.
There we go. Let me adjust these comments. So you can kind of see here, U.S. Trump prohibits U.S. purchases of Venezuelan crypto. He bans Americans from buying the Petro dollar because Venezuela is under sanctions and all this other stuff. Sanctions, and Dave Chappelle.
Oh, yeah.
Skip for those. So I don't know. That's crazy. I guess we're right here at the forefront now, where he's mentioning crypto at least a little bit,
and he's banning people from. I don't know how you ban anybody, but yeah, basically just saying he doesn't want people to use it because we know why politically you can't have countries be able to pull themselves up by their bootstraps because then they won't need you anymore. So we gotta put a hold on that, and I'm pretty sure you'll see the same type of sanctions if they had a North Korea coin or some other type of other country we don't like. So. Just more of the same from that standpoint. But we're getting close. As soon as he says Bitcoin, that's going to be a funny day. I can't wait.
The inflation in Venezuela looks like it has spiraled to about 13%. This is this year. I'm assuming they're talking about last year.
Yeah.
Last 12 months. But, again, it's nothing kind of new. The U.S. has been sanctioning Venezuela for a while, which is one of the reasons why they're making the petrodollar, I'm assuming. Not saying it was good or bad or ugly, but, again, if we're already at the point where we're banning cryptos, from different governments, slippery slope. Because now people are going to say, well, what is this crypto that you're banning? What does it do? Why do you want to ban it? And here we go.
Oh, yeah.
See, Bitcoin Hippie said, do we hear about how Ripple has a futures contract?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing about Ripple, again, people, you have to remember, there's a reason why you're seeing Ripple on the front page of every internet website right now. It's a centralized company. They have a team.
Yeah.
They're promoting. So, I mean, that's kind of natural for them to have a futures contract. They're working hand in hand with the government and big bank. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I will say it depends on how many different companies decide to have a Ripple futures contract. Because if you look at Bitcoin, the first futures contract that came, price skyrocketed based on what people thought, speculation. Then when the second one came, price went from 20K down to 10K as soon as CME futures came. So, and I was reading a interesting article about what somebody calls the cartels, that every time you add a futures contract to an asset, the price either stays the same or plummets. With gold futures contracts, silver, and Bitcoin futures contracts, all of that has happened. So if Ripple gets a futures contract,
I'm not bullish on it.
Who's to say how far down Ripple can go? So it's one of those things where when futures contracts comes, you want to be wary that the people who have those contracts want to short it to the ground, or they want to pump it so that they can eventually short it to the ground. So
it's crazy. But if Ripple does, like you said, go through the futures contracts and they try to actually short it, a lot of people who bought it at its tip that think it's bad already. You don't know how low Ripple was last year.
Oh man,
when that thing hits less than a penny, that's gonna be some real freaking out happening. So hopefully that doesn't happen.
Everybody gonna think they're a genius.
Right.
It still has no use case. Nobody has any reason to use it. So
You said President Trump would say Bitcoin in Q1 of 2020. I think he's going to say it by the end of this year. I mean, we're only in March, and this is heating up already.
Yeah, I think it'll be sooner.
All it takes is another bull run. If we can do another bull run, if and when we get over that 20K mark, he's going to say it this year. I don't think there's going to be a choice on it.
Yeah.
Because once, there's a lot of new people who found out how to use the market now to their advantage. There'll be a lot more money pumping into his next bull run. And, with those Lambos, you can't hide those.
Yeah. And honestly, depending on his view of it, that will determine a lot of stuff, too. Because if he views it favorably, then he's not going to be able to stop talking about it. Basically, everybody's going to be flooding it like, oh, yeah, he loves Bitcoin, loves Bitcoin. But if he doesn't like it, then he's probably going to have to back away because the hate that's going to come at him because of that. People will just be like, nah, we're not going with that. So
he's eventually going to have to say something. Right now, a new survey came out showing around 26 million Americans own and about 8% plan to buy cryptocurrencies.
Oh, yeah.
So not a huge number, of course. No, it's about 330 million Americans, so you're only talking about a fraction of them. However, for this to be where we're starting at right now, I think it's a pretty good number. Yeah. When that number hits 50 million, 100 million, you got a third of the population buying it again. President's going to have to say something. But right now, we're at 26 million. I think that's a huge amount, 8% of Americans.
Yeah, I think it's actually lower. They go by the number of wallets. Right. I think people have, like myself, that has dozens of wallets across dozens of platforms. There's no way you can track how many people own each wallet. The only way to link it really is with personal information. But most people don't have it, personal information with a lot of the older wallets. So I don't know how you track it, but it's actually, I feel like, less people than that. So it's really even more room to grow. And the demand is rising at a super rapid pace because of all the new innovations. So that is good news. However, still got a while to go. Right. Long way to go.
This is how I know I can't trust certain companies. It says a study from December of last year by Blockchain Capital also showed that millennials favor Bitcoin over traditional bank accounts. Well, for one, no duh. But for two, you're doing a study in December when Bitcoin price is $20,000. Let's do a study right now.
Yeah.
At this moment, where's Bitcoin at right now? Like 8 something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do a study right now. I don't trust those studies. It looks like clickbait to me. So it makes me leery of that company as in whole now. I don't like that.
Yeah. Which, as when companies put out information, they basically put out what they got. But the timing on that was pretty suspect.
Yeah, the timing was definitely suspect. But it's pretty good to see that. I mean, of course, we already know millennials use it more than anybody. Generation X. Who is Generation X? What age is that?
That's like, I guess, 35 to 50, something like that.
The lost generation? Don't nobody talk about Generation X, I feel like.
The generation that had, like, the 90s basically come through. I don't know. They grew up in, I don't know, man.
Oh, they grew up in the 80s, 90s?
I don't know how they do these groups because I don't call myself a millennial, but I think I fall into that.
No, we're millennial. I don't agree with some of the ages they put them in. It's like a 22-year-old, but they're millennials too. I'm like, I don't know.
Don't throw me in a group. I'm not big on joining groups.
Reasons why people aren't buying cryptocurrency. Looks like the top reason is too complicated to understand. I think that's very interesting. It kind of shows you the mind of a lot of people where, it's too hard, I'm just not going to do it. It doesn't matter if it can provide me economic freedom, and it shouldn't be easy if you're trying to have my actual freedom, but because it's too hard, I'm not going to do it. I can't believe that's like the top reason. But
well, I mean, in doing background research, that's mainly why we started the educational group, because most people don't know what to do. They either don't understand it and they want to understand it, or they just don't have the time. So it's one of the best reasons to do it, because a lot of people need information. So
it's too difficult to use. Okay, I can understand that's a scam. I can understand that. There's too many fees. Okay, misinformation. There's no need or disinterested. And when there is need, there will be a problem. It's a bubble. Yeah, you've caught every other bubble right in your life. Don't believe that one. It's too high risk. Now, I can understand that one, too. It's for the diddly gain. They're like, we don't play that.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, so they got it broken down. You can check all this out on, Cointelegraph. But about 8% of Americans. And, again, we're thinking that number's a little bit smaller. So, of course, that makes us bullish on on Bitcoin in general.
Out of room to grow, people.
Right. Next up, blockchain tech provider Bitfury gains government approval for $35 million Norway Datacenter. What's going on with Bitfury?
Well,
you're looking smug.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Bitfury basically got in the industry that they needed to be in, or got in the country they needed to be in to have a good, mining data center, because Norway is one of the cooler climates, one of the best places for electricity, and Bitfury just got a ton of money they got more money than the Lightning Network. I mean, to build a mining farm. So Bitfury is a popular mining company that's been around a long time. And it just looks like the writing's on the wall for the mining industry, that it's being taken over by big companies with big investments. And $35 million is a lot of GPUs at A6 to buy. So we'll see. Like I said, most of these people that get this investment, it takes time, a few months, maybe even a year to get everything set up and running correctly. However, usually people don't make that investment unless they're confident in the team they have and the people running it. So they said they have about 30 employees so far. So should be a pretty good data center, and it said it's going to be energy efficient. So we'll see if they can cut some costs there. So renewable energy and all this stuff, that's all the big wave, the wave now with Bitcoin miners is, oh, this is renewable energy, or we can reuse it to grow like tomatoes, like we've seen before. So that's one of the biggest things that's happening in the industry right now. There's a lot of mining farms being built with a good amount of money. So shout out to them. Congrats.
And I mean, it's kind of fun. The energy argument is so lame anyway. It's so many ways we waste energy here. I mean, come on. How many of you leave your heat and air on, you know, around the clock or whatever? So for those who attack crypto because of the whole energy consumption thing, hey, it's a cold world out there. It's going to end one day too. So
yeah. Ain't nothing we can do.
Yeah, it is what it is.
If they were going to solve the energy crisis, they would have done it in the 80s before it got too bad, and it's too late. So
Sergeant Crypto says everyone's getting paid $1 million. Yeah, listen,
it might be.
$1 million these days. Like, if you're willing to sell a little bit of your company or do some, some extraordinary things, $1 million in this space isn't hard to get people. Like, $1 million is because at this point, it's developers, it's traders, people walking around with millions of dollars. So. Yeah, $1 million is that's like the baseline, which is kind of funny because you look at Silicon Valley and some of these unicorn companies looking to finally be $100 million worth of $1 billion, and then you got Ripple that literally 2 years of being in operations that turned out to be a multi-billion-dollar company. So
like that, yeah.
This is what a time to be alive.
Yeah, I know, right?
So going back to the story reported on before. Sierra Leone government says no blockchain officially used in elections after misleading media hype. Now, it's funny. I can't remember the name of the commenter, but somebody actually commented on our video after we talked about Sierra Leone using the blockchain to count ballots and stuff. And they were like, hey, interesting. They voted there, and they didn't see that happening. And it turns out it looked like it was another blockchain stimulus package that happened for, I believe it was Agora or Agora. What's it called?
Agora, yeah.
Agora, yes. The voting company Agora, as well as the National Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone, you kind of see here, they came out with a tweet and said that basically we didn't actually use these applications, which aren't open source, and they didn't do any blockchain either. They said they did it on their own, and it looks like it was a lot of confusing media hype, and they tried to explain it, of course. It's kind of like the Neo situation. We saw this already. And it looks like the person or the group of people who brought the story to light was Agora's competitor. Yeah, it looks like their competitor came out right here. Sierra Leone Open Election Data Platform. They basically came out and said these guys aren't doing anything new. They took the paper card out of the results and they read it out loud and they said they're going to put it on the blockchain, which wasn't official.
Which technically they could have, but it's just a database.
Right. What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, like I said, when people throw blockchain in their name, or they say they're doing something with a blockchain, that usually to me screams centralized database. Because if they were running a blockchain company, if it was running, it would be developed, it would already be going. So usually, if they have to announce it or something, it's just a centralized database. They throw blockchain in there because most people don't really know what it is, but they feel like if you do, then you must be innovative or have some new ideas. So. Just more of the same with that, and with smaller countries, it's harder to get out correct information. So good to see that's cleared up. But honestly, it's a competitor, so they could have been working on something big, and Sierra Leone was like, "You ain't about to take all the credit for this." So
this is our project, and then that's when they came back and said, "Agora was like, hey, we're just trying to work with you all, create." So I mean, this is the interesting thing. It's companies that are rather not see human progression, not see technological progression, just so that they can progress or they can stay alive. It's so backwards. I mean, it's backwards from a society point of view. Like, hey, if it's something new and better, you need to figure out how to implement it, not just shun it away because it's coming. So
don't cut off your face to spite your nose.
Right,
like, what are you doing? You have a perfectly
I know, right? But
Good chance.
you know, I think what's good is that people are starting to at least talk about it, work with, because maybe they're not going to be the first ones to come up with it. But now another country is going to say, "Hey, how could we technically put all this voting on the blockchain?" I mean, I think the fair thing to do, or something that could work, you give, I don't know, you give people a little bit of money, or $2 or $1, and you have them go in there and put their votes in, and I don't know, it'll go directly to that address or whatever they voted for. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
There will be ways to do it. There will definitely be a way to do it. It's unfortunate that they weren't the first, but we shall see.
We'll see.
German researchers: child abuse content found on Bitcoin blockchain. Users must be protected. Now, if this isn't FUD, I don't know what it is.
Man,
I mean,
they're about to pull out everything.
Child abuse content. All right, let's not even talk about some of the presidential parties out there and that creepy video of John Biden goes about 2 or 3 minutes of him. I don't know what he's doing. Just check out John Biden creepy video or something. I don't know. YouTube that later. But anyway, so let's talk about child abuse and everything that's going on with our government in LA and Hollywood. I think this shouldn't be the headline story. However, it is important no matter where it's happening at. Users must be protected. Of course, that's a red flag. So you want to protect us from child abuse that no one's heard about that's going on the blockchain.
Yeah.
What's the deal with this story? What's going on here?
Well, I mean, they found evidence of child pornography, but it was linked or attached to Bitcoin transactions between certain people. It's not the entire Bitcoin ecosystem, which is what they basically are trying to market it as. Is that, the Bitcoin blockchain has child porn on it. Hey, it may be illegal. We can shut it down for that reason or whatever. However, like we said, with anything people do that involves money, there will always be people who do illegal stuff. People. They've been doing it with cash for years. They've been doing it with other forms of payment forever. So as long as there's a way to pay with something, there's going to be people that do illegal stuff because some humans are, messed up in the mind. So what can you do? But honestly, like I said, if they can find a way to accommodate whoever it is that's looking into it without actually blaming Bitcoin, then go for it. But
so they're saying since these links were found on the blockchain, if you download the entire blockchain, which you need to run a full node, then technically you're downloading the links to child porn and you're guilty as well. That's their case.
That's their case.
That is a reach amongst reaches. So I guess by your standards, Jeremy, these German research groups, Aachen and Frankfurt University, I guess we should just stop using Bitcoin and blockchain then, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the answer to it.
Yeah.
But
that's sort of like, all right, well, if I download your bank app, then I'm a part of money laundering. Because technically I am, because I put money into an operation that was laundering money. But that's basically how absurd it sounds right now. Like I downloaded software, it includes something from somebody else. And like, what are you talking about, man? Yeah.
Let's see. So what? You can't ban the blockchain anyway. And as usual, the problem is not the technology, but the people using it. Exactly. Let's see. Yep. Yuri said the same thing. This is the real treat, in my opinion, or a real threat. I'm assuming. Theoretically, anyone hosting a full node.
Yep. And we told you they're going to find ways to try and criminalize people who run full nodes who have anything to do with blockchain, which is hilarious because they're only going to go after the small people. Right. The big people, we just told you, $35 million investment into a company. You think they're going to go after them for child porn? No.
Well, I just told you about Vice President Joe Biden. What is going on with this video I saw him? I'm not playing
exactly.
It is something very wrong with this. But then you had the Pizzagate and all that other stuff where, it's so much stuff going on that our government chooses to ignore. So somebody else said this attack on Bitcoin made me LOL. How pathetic. They're really trying anything. Their defeat is near.
That's exactly what we've been telling you.
They're getting really desperate now. That's so the comments seem to be, yeah, the comments are all about saying is that, and this is funny. They have a picture of Bitcoin fighting his day in court. What court? It won't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got an international council we made up I didn't know about already.
Yeah. Probably just made it up at G20. Yeah.
Making up everything else. Oh, man. Too bad. Next up, boxing legend Manny Pacquiao, latest celebrity to turn ICO promoter. Manny. Come on, Manny.
Too many hits in the head.
Right? You've had to be reading the news. You had to see your buddy Floyd Mayweather try it and some of the kickback he received. But people, for one, if you're following a celebrity for crypto advice, you are
already lost.
Yeah, you are going to get wrecked, okay?
Yeah.
The bottom line is this. Crypto being already new, not a lot of people know about it. People in the space are still learning about it. So why would a celebrity who doesn't even have time to do anything in general all of a sudden be the expert go-to person on cryptocurrency, people?
Exactly.
All right.
Think about it. And you're an adult. Come on, man.
Right.
We have kids for that type of stuff to follow their, as fans. But we got adults still listening to. Come on, man. You don't listen to DJ Khaled tell you about crypto? Like, come on, man. Like
Ramo Jones said, I know he's not broke already. LOL. Listen, who knows what's going on, but yeah, I'm not even going to name him. He's pumping some ICO that's going to be in exchange. Sounds familiar, Jamie Foxx. And, of course, he wants everybody to come join it. It's a pretty bold move. Yeah. I mean, first of all, it's a bold move because we already know how the U.S. feels about ICOs as well as some of these other countries. But, again, it's almost like, how much was the bet? They had to pay him.
Yeah.
They had to pay him a lot of money.
Just to promote it. And they'll get some suckers in there. That's the thing, too, is they'll get some people in there to invest something and then make their money back, quick flip, and then they'll worry about the SEC later, which is hilarious because the SEC is going after everybody, it looks like. They're going after all the ICOs. So this is a terrible time to start an ICO. But, hey, like I said, we've been hitting the head hundreds of times. You don't know. Once
the platform launches, Pacquiao will reportedly issue a token called the Patcoin. Wow. I didn't even know about a couple more of these. Looks like Evander Holyfield endorsed an ICO already. Yep. Let's see. Of course, Floyd. You got Pacquiao. Yeah. So I guess this is the new wave again.
Yeah. And if we can run down the list of failed celebrity ICOs, you'll see that like all of them failed. There is none of them have succeeded from a technological standpoint. Maybe from a quick money grab standpoint, but none of the tech they offer is new. Nothing is innovative. I mean, what is it supposed to do? So
Sergeant Crypto said everybody want to eat, man. There we go. That's pretty funny. All right, for the free crypto, what are we doing today?
So for the free crypto,
for the free Bitcoin specifically?
Free Bitcoin specifically, yes. What is the next country that Trump will ban from using national cryptocurrency? It was Venezuela. It's first, and like we said, history always repeats itself.
Is Iran gonna get that coin they want? Turkey gonna get it? We got some candidates.
Oh yeah, we got some candidates out there. So, which country do you think? Make sure you put that public address, and we'll send you that free Bitcoin.
If I catch anybody in my lands, can you all understand the way this really sounds? If I catch anybody amongst the American lands buying any foreign cryptocurrencies, you are going to be in prison. You will be fined. Yeah. Let's talk about being in prison and fined real quick before we leave. I think an important story, and it actually came up with Cointelegraph to kind of link. Here, let me see if I can pull it up. They were trying to link they're trying to show you a pattern between Theranos. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That just recently, basically, were only fined for running a fraudulent company. Huge company, people. Theranos had the lady, I forgot her name, who was the CEO behind it. Remember her name?
I do not, but $300 million, I believe, is how much.
No, she got about $700 million.
Oh, 700,
she got about $700 million invested. And all they were fine once they figured out they didn't have a real working product. Which is amazing that a company that big only got fined. And of course, the rest of the world, even if you're trying to launch an ICO or launch an IDO, they are fining you and throwing you in prison. So that's pretty interesting. I don't know if I can pull it up. I won't be able to pull it up right now. I can't find it. But yeah, check that out. Theranos, their CEO, fraudulent case. Of course, they only get a slap on the wrist, but they think they're going to shut down all the crypto world. Slow news day, people. Not much going on. I don't think much will go on. Maybe tomorrow we'll get a big story coming out of G20. Other than that, it's going to be a quiet week. Accumulation continues.
Get the FUD machine.
But then again, this is crypto. All it takes is that random tweet, and we can be back in business. So we'll see what happens. Until then, you all have a great day.
Oh yeah.
Make sure you smash that like and share button. We truly appreciate it. Same thing with the podcast as well. If you like listening to it, make sure you go back in there and rate it after the show. Those ratings help the algorithms and help more people find out about it. So,
oh yeah,
much appreciated.
Thank you.
Cheers.